Hi folks, John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru. It is New Year's Eve. I am not done working. It is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time, and I still have a boatload of paperwork to do, but I'm going to spend some time with the family. Hope you are having a good night with your family as well, and or those that you love. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the fact that you really do need to act and think like a primary caregiver for your patient. I got done with an eval today. Now, in home health, those of you that do home health will appreciate this. This eval took me an hour and a half for various reasons. But when I got done with that eval and I walked out of that house, I was feeling pretty ticked off. I was ticked off at the referral source. The referral source is a free clinic. And, it's a nice charity to have for patients that can't afford it or have some needs that aren't covered by their insurance to keep their costs down. And I get that. And I do know that when things are provided for free, you need to apportion care because you've got to meet your budgetary demands as a free clinic. But when you see a patient who's got Medicare, who can have some services covered, that has specific needs that need to be addressed, you should get them addressed. Now, I'm not saying this patient had needs that were identified by this primary care provider that should have been addressed. I don't think the caregiver ever identified the problems. And so, for example, patient's got a significant amount of pain, shoulders, hands, not so much legs. And if you look at her, you can see she's got significant arthritic changes. And I asked her and the caregiver if she's ever been to a rheumatologist. And the answer is no. And we started talking about pain, and the patient's on just Tylenol, PRN. And I said, were you ever given any pain management? She said, well, no. She's also incredibly anxious. And this is causing a tremendous fear of falling, which is causing her to self-limit her activity, which is impeding her function further. I asked about that. She's never had that addressed. She has obvious cardiovascular limitation. And I had some concerns about it. And she's never had that looked at. So basically, she's way under medically managed. And if these things had been medically managed, this patient probably would be in a lot better shape. Might not even need me. And so I'm going to be making a number of requests to the referring physician to make them aware of all these concerns and hope and pray that we can figure out a way to get this lady the care she needs. She's also getting, thankfully, social services, and she's going to get some help. She's working on getting help for the things that she needs. But, you need to think like a primary care provider when you see your patient. And you've got to think about, okay, what is going on with this person that impacts my scope of practice, but also think outside your scope and say, if she had these other things that were addressed, like cardiovascular and rheumatology and things like that, not only would it be serving the patient, but it would make my role as a therapist that much more effective. And that's what we're shooting for, the best possible outcome for all the providers involved for the patient's sake. And so think like a primary care provider every time you see your patient. And with that thought, I wish you a fond, happy new year. I look forward to 2020. May we see 2020, even though we've got PDGM hitting tomorrow, may we see it be a better year for many therapists. So I know we're struggling right now with jobs, getting layoffs and things like that. Hopefully we'll see an uptick sometime in the future. Take care and God bless.